Welcome back, everyone. Today I have a fun St. Patrick's Day project that's sure to liven up your party. This cheerful beer cozy is simple to make and can be decorated with whatever themes you like. In this version, we made a satin-stitched rainbow and a shamrock. To begin, download the pattern in the description box and trace the shapes onto your fabric using a piece of transfer paper. You can also make your own pattern based off ours in case you want to make a different size cozy. Our template is sized for a beer bottle or pop can at 11 inches long. If you're planning on making a cozy for a larger cup, add about another inch or measure the circumference of your cup and add the difference in length. Start by cutting out one sheet of outside fabric, one sheet of lining fabric, one piece of Fusible Stabilizer to a length of 11 inches by a width of 5 inches. You'll also want to cut 2 pieces of low loft dense batting to the same dimensions. We'll be using this as the insulation to keep your drink hot or cold longer. The thread I'll be using is a 2-ply rayon thread called Splendor. Splendor is soft to the touch and has a silky shine that's perfect for a splash of color. This is great for a cozy as it is also color fast and will not stretch or shrink in the wash. I prefer to use rayon thread for any decorative stitching because, as you can see, it is glossier and has a more natural shine than a polyester thread, which has a somewhat artificial shine. I'll pair the Splendor top thread with a fine thread in the bobbin. This is an 80 weight cottonized polyester called Deco Bob. Deco Bob pairs well with Splendor as it is a strong thread that also minimizes bulk when you're doing a lot of dense stitching, such as we'll be doing with the satin stitch. To prevent puckering, I'll want to use a Fusible Stabilizer underneath. This will help keep my fabric from puckering when I decorate my panel. It also helps to keep the stitches looking consistent. We'll be using a 7010 or an 8012 Microtex needle for this. At this point, you can do any kind of decoration you want on the rectangular front piece. We will be decorating it with a satin-stitched rainbow and an applique shamrock. Trace your design with a piece of transfer paper so you have an outline to follow. To begin, start at the top of the rainbow with the appropriate color. I'll start with my red first. Follow the tracing of the arch and fill in the empty space, doing a wide satin stitch. When you start the next band of your rainbow, make sure the right swing of your needle just touches the stitching of the previous band. Repeat this step until you finish the rest of the rainbow colors. Next, cut out the shamrock shape from our paper pattern sheet and trace the shamrock shape onto the paper side of the fusible web. Then cut out the shape. Place the shamrock applique on the end of the thread-painted rainbow, remove the protective paper backing, and iron it down. The part touching the thread may not iron down so perfectly, so I'll also finish appliquing the shamrock using a simple whip stitch to make sure it stays in place. Alternatively, you could do a raw edge applique by machine stitching it down. The thread I'll be using for this is Deco Bob, the same 80 weight thread we used in the bobbin. Because it's so fine, it'll disappear easily into the fabric, so it won't be as visible. Cut away the stabilizer from the back once you're done decorating your piece and iron it flat. Position 2 pieces of batting on the wrong side of your decorated piece. Using a long stitch, sew around the rectangle with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Then trim your batting close to your stitching to reduce bulk. After you're finished, take the inside panel and place it right sides together with your decorated piece and pin around the perimeter. Using a 1/4 inch seam allowance again, sew around the perimeter of the rectangle, starting your first stitch just off center along the long edge. Sew all the way around and stop stitching about 3 inches away from your starting point. You will use this opening to turn your cozy right side out. Before you turn your cozy, trim all corners diagonally to reduce bulk in the corners. Once you've pulled the cozy right side out, use an object to push the corners out so they're nice and sharp. Fold in the raw edges of the opening and pin into place. Using Deco Bob and a hand stitching needle, hand stitch the opening shut. Press your cozy with an iron to make the edges sharp. The next step is putting on the Velcro strips. Cut a 3.5 inch piece each of the loop and hook sides. On the inside of your piece, pin the hook Velcro to the short side of the rectangle. Flip your rectangle over to the outside panel and pin the loop Velcro to the opposite short side. Leave a 1/4 inch gap between the edge of the panel and the Velcro and sew all the way around the Velcro borders. And you're finished! I love how the thread gives the right amount of shine and color and makes your cozy one of a kind. This cozy fits your average size beer bottle or can, making it versatile for your ideal beverage of choice. The best part is that you can always adapt your cozy and decorate it for any other occasion. If you make this project for yourself, let us know in the comments section below, or let us know what type of video you'd like to see next time. And if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit subscribe for more great tips and tutorials. We'll see you all next time.